And welcome to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show
on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
See, Mo's kind of, just not very loud. He's a soft-spoken guy, but we'll get him back on. Anyway, I'm Steve Levine. I'm executive publisher of Small Business Today Magazine.
I'm Barbara Davis-Levine, associate publisher, creative director, head writer, and editor of Small Business Today Magazine.
And we are co-hosts of Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show, which works in tandem with the magazine to provide you, the aspiring entrepreneur or small business owner, the information you need to start and or grow your business. Our mission is to educate, motivate, inspire, and empower you to achieve your dreams of big business success. Nobody starts a business with the hopes of being enslaved to it and work until their dying day that never works for them. They want the business to work for them. And that's how my parents were when they were recruited into my grandparents' business, hoping to build it up to work for them, but never quite got there. You have to have the right systems, the right programs, and a lot of people never catch on. And
I was always doing small business. I've been doing it. Sold the most Girl Scout cookies in the state of Texas and never stopped selling. I had selling these little gumball things that were lost supply demand. I found out they weren't available in my neighborhood, but my grandmother could get them in Wharton. They were called rat finks, and I'd take the penny ones and sell them for a nickel. The nickel ones I sell for a dime, and the dime ones I sell for a quarter. And I was making $5 a week, and that was when I was, I guess, 11. So I've been selling ever since.
Is the entrepreneur spirit something you're born with or something you acquire?
I think the desire to pursue something against all obstacles, you have to have a spirit for it. To learn how to be good at what you do requires education, because I think anyone can be an entrepreneur, but it's the individual has to have that motivation. They have to be so crazy that knowing that things are never going to work out for a long time, and and in spite of that, be able to persevere. That's the spirit of the entrepreneur. And so you, I guess, have to either have developed it, because you can't be taught that.
Nope.
But you can be taught the tools.
But you can go to the entrepreneur school at University of Houston. You remember the story when Bill Sherrill? When he came to the University of Houston with the idea of an entrepreneur school, he was with two different forces. Number one was entrepreneurship is something you're born with. That's why I asked that question.
The skills.
And number two, nobody would ever take an entrepreneur class. Meanwhile, it's been copied, that program, 4,200 schools.
Yeah.
And Bill Sherrill was the one who founded that, along with Bauer of Star Furniture. And that became the Bauer Business Center. The Wolf
Center.
You did. Right.
Wolf Center of Entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we are very proud to be in Houston. We're the original entrepreneur school.
U of H, yay, Cougars.
But we're not going there right now. But if you're not familiar with Small Business Today Magazine, we are a publication, again, for aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners. It just happens to have a worldwide readership of business owners, everything from somebody with a pickup truck and a tool belt to multi-billionaires.
College students and then multi-billionaires, exactly.
And as the show was last week, we had youthpreneurs.
That's right, and the mothers and parents that love them.
Yes, right. Youthpreneurs and parents who love them. And everything. We had an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 16-year-old all making money. Wow. Either had their own not-for-profit or they literally had their own business. So kids have already figured out that corporate America will not be their security in the future. If you want security, start your own business. And they're starting young. And they're realizing philanthropy is a big part of that. And we have found, and that's why each cover honoree has to demonstrate their generosity back to the community, back to the industry that they serve, or just their fellow man, that their success is in direct proportion to their generosity. Not always at the exact same moment they hit the PayPal and give a donation or whatever they do.
But all of them, from going back to our other publications, every successful business owner had one thing in common, is they all regarded giving back first before looking what was going in their own pocket. And that's one of the criteria to be nominated to be on the cover by our advisory board. They don't pay to be on the cover. They have to build something from nothing. We don't measure what volume, dollar volume, but that they've built something from nothing and that they give back. That's the most.
And it's easy for ExxonMobil to write a $10,000 check just like that. God bless them when they do. But for a small business owner,
it could be building a website. It could be. Helping
using their talents or using their resources to help others. And that's why we like having various charities and not-for-profits on our show, to demonstrate some places that somebody could give to and be part of and make a difference to their fellow man.
Exactly.
Right?
There are a lot of nation-based not-for-profits. They have great boards. They get great success. So I feel everybody should support, number one, their own local business, small business.
Absolutely.
Because it shouldn't be just Small Business Week or small business. It should be everyday small business. And number two, they should support your local not-for-profits. If you're going to have an organization want to give back to somebody local that needs that support.
Absolutely, because when you support a small business, you're helping to give their kid trumpet lessons or Boy Scout
Camp
dues
or whatever.
Camp or whatever. It's a much bigger deal. And this Shop Small Business Saturdays should be Shop Small Business all the time.
That's right.
So,
and now we talk about the cover. The cover honoree. And the example is every cover honoree has a great story, but at the very end of every story are what we call the takeaway notes or best words of wisdom or words of advice. It's a single page. If one doesn't want to go and read the whole story, they can go to that. And it'd be like asking a mentor, tell me the do's and don'ts of business, cornering somebody you really admire, respect. This is what these are about. Every issue is like that. So you can go to SBTMagazine.net.
Or smallbusinessmagazine.com. Look for a total change-up first of next week.
Right.
Finally.
Yes.
We've redone it to make it more resources and its own a search engine by topic. Find all the editorial that were written on that subject. Be able to look at every event.
Are we going to have a page of all the quips that I say about you, like take a long walk off a short
I've edited that out, but thank you. You could do that.
Swell guy, and you have a head to match.
Yeah, back at you, huh? So, and your big mouth and your big head. Sure, there you go. And it just
roses are red, violets are blue. When it rains, I think of you. Drip,
anyway,
drip, drip.
Small Business Day magazine centerpiece is a cover story, and the most popular page of the magazine are those takeaway notes that Barbara established to give their words of advice for you, the aspiring entrepreneur or small business owner, in starting and growing your business. If you're taking that person out and ask them about their what they'd recommend, this is what they say. What do you say about the compendium, Barbara?
I say if you will go to our archives and go to the best words of advice at the end of every cover story, start making a compendium business. The best do's and don'ts are right there, and all you got to do is go look for them. And if you start seeing duplications in each end of each article of their best words of advice, or say, be best friends with your banker, have good credit, these kind of things, give back, and put a star. Because I said, what's the clue look like? You want to make sure you do that, incorporate that into your everyday business practices.
And then you'll find some really unique things that people have done or what people said, like even the worst idea executed is far better than the best idea that you only think about.
Exactly.
So just do it.
Just do
like
it.
Nike, just do it.
Exactly.
And, but a lot of great information, a lot of great editorial, 6 mistakes that startup entrepreneurs make, 4 drastic measures to turn your business around now, what's the SBA really looking for?
What do the banks say no?
What does the bank say no? Networking with quips. I mean, it's
sex and networking.
Networking and sex.
It's not what you think.
I thought that was a good cover thing. That's like the Inquirer, or that'd be like a Springer show. But what they say, how the sexes
women
women and men network differently. But I thought it was about something else.
Well, you of course would. You got your head, and
there was no pictures.
Dirty old
it was just editorial. Anyway, but you can get a complimentary digital subscription to Small Business Day magazine by going to SBTMagazine.net.
Or smallbusinessmagazine.com.
And look for
soon, whole change up. There'll be calendars of events that organizations are going to be able to go on. Master calendar that you can see when the Houston Minority Supplier Development Council having their
networking webinars and seminars and conferences and golf tournaments and you name it. All will be on
Women
there.
Business Enterprise Alliance, their events. All of these great organizations that will benefit a small business.
Anybody
person.
We've done a profile on: National Association of Minority Contractors, Women Contract Association, the Northwest Chamber of Commerce, the West Houston Chamber of Commerce, Houston Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce. Anybody that we've done a profile on, their strategic partner, they will be able to enter their own information on there. One master calendar of all events.
Isn't that awesome?
Anyway,
awesome.
SBTmagazine.net.
SmallBusinessMagazine.com.
And that's what we're all about. Get a subscription today. It's complimentary. Hard copy, $69. Eventually we'll charge. Anyway, we like having, by the way, speaking about cover honorees.
Yes.
We happen to have a future cover honoree sitting here with us. Yeah, the very shy.
The very shy, very
Maurice
petite.
Evans. An associate of his named Allie Evans. I'm just coincidence, same last name.
But she's cuter.
She's but he's a handsome guy. But anyway, we were introduced, the backstory, we were introduced to Maurice at the Superstars event, the Night of Superstars, which was a couple Saturday nights ago. And
it recognizes the special needs children. Johnson. Yeah, special need. The Superstars, Night of Superstars, they recognize special needs children that have done something special, and they make
Greg's been on the show, and Grant's been on the show,
right?
And they recognize special needs kids and young adults with very special talents. And
they have like a Academy Awards event where they walk down the red carpet, they sign autographs, they go in limos. It's really a great event.
And we put up a silent auction package of a multimedia package, and we were blessed to have Maurice purchase it. In fact, he really was in a bidding war for it, Barbara. Did you know that?
No, I don't know. I didn't see the thing. I said,
the sheet was gone by the time we got out there. The sheet had
disappeared when we got out there. Boy, somebody really wanted this thing.
I think it was Maurice.
He was holding it.
I did it. I did it. I was potty training my son, so I kept going back and forth to the bathroom. And every time I saw someone was outbidding me. So, and it was one of my partners who was outbidding me. So I was like, hey man, we're on the same team.
Someone you went with.
Keep driving me up, you know.
That's right.
But it all went to a great cause, and we appreciate that.
Went to a great cause. Night of Superstars. I was blessed to be the keynote speaker there at the event last year in Dallas. As you said, benefits special needs children and kids who are faced with life-threatening diseases, and the families are going through these traumatic experiences. And fortunately for them, they're still able to achieve and go beyond expectations, excel far beyond expectations of even normal, regular, blessed, healthy children.
I'd like to think they're all God's children, because I have one who's
autistic,
31-year-old autistic male, and everything they accomplish is amazing, because it's despite the handicaps against it, and they all have something special about them. And I like to believe that God created this child. It happened to be special needs, and there's something special about them inside. It's just finding that and bringing that talent out.
To bring that home. I mean, that's the exact point that we're here today, is because the Hopeful event goes to benefit kids in Uganda who, unfortunately is severely underserved. And there's, Ali and her mother, Gari Meacham, they founded an awesome event, the Vine Uganda. And why don't you speak a little bit about that, Ali?
Well, wait. Before we do that, let's introduce Ali.
Yeah,
sure.
Where's my introduction?
He knows you so well, but we've got to let everybody else know. Let's formally. Well,
sure, him too.
I was going to formally introduce Ali. You formally introduce Maurice.
Okay.
Ladies first. Ali Evans has held a variety of positions that bring real zeal and perspective to her job as a creative director of Truly Fed Ministries, and that's the one we were just touching on. In college, she was a Los Angeles Laker girl. Woohoo! And that's not easy to do. You got to try out against all those people.
Thousands of girls.
Thousands of girls, and judges looking for specific looks. And anyway, she performed and also learned video interview techniques while serving as a reporter for the Los Angeles Lakers pregame show, which is pretty awesome. She then went on to be one of the 2 female backup singers for
backup dancers.
Yeah, and all
I don't
dancers.
sing. I don't.
Oh, backup dancers. Sorry, dancers.
Even in the car.
I leave that to Rihanna.
Sorry. For Rihanna.
Yes.
Beautiful performer. So, of course, if anybody hasn't heard of her, she's a platinum award-winning recording artist, and she's traveled the globe, appearing on a variety of television shows, film, photo shoots, commercials, and more. Allie's been trained in the techniques of photography and produces a recurring YouTube show for a ministry called Shine. And for several years, Allie ran her own online children's accessories business, the Lemonade Cake Boutique. And during her years as a business owner, Allie refined her skills as she crafted items, photographed, and maintained her online store hosted by her website, and redesigned product and packaging of items sold. She sent her items to customers in adorable cake boxes with a recipe for lemonade cake included. She also designed the website for the Vine Uganda, a branch of Truly Fed Ministries that supports vulnerable women and children in Kamuli, Uganda. Now, we're going to be back in just a minute to more.
We're going to go to break.
We're going to go to break.
But we'll be back in just a few moments, and you're listening to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show
on the
SBT Magazine Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Paul Marcus, owner of Affordable Searches, your premier investigation company specializing in comprehensive background checks nationwide. Business owners know one of the most important things to do is the hiring of employees. However, if you make mistakes or you don't check them out thoroughly, this could lead to problems. Some of the problems may be unsafe business environment, possible violence in the workplace, negligent hiring, lawsuits, and a turnover of employees. Our website has a wealth of information for you to read and learn how to run the correct background checks. We are also available for free consultations at 1-877-685-6691. Visit our testimonials page to see what our current customers say about us.
And welcome back to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show on the
SBT Magazine Radio Network.
There we are.
Woo!
Sing, yes.
Hey.
The reason we do that, we've talked about this once or twice, is we like to build up the endorphins and energy, and when people get to yell at, particularly the kids we have, the youthpreneurs, it really
makes
sets
the show fun. We have people relax.
And we do have fun on this show.
Some people get all stressed
Barbara's too nutty, and she really give me a hard time, which you guys have noticed of the
I may be nutty, but you're the fruitcake.
No, you back at you. Anyway, just let it go out. Ignore her, and she'll stop. Anyway,
every time he tries to put his foot down, I step on it.
Well, we introduced Allie, and they are here with the event Hopeful, and benefiting the women and children of Uganda. How Allie got involved, we'll get in a minute, but Maurice Evans, as we just said, played professional basketball from 2001 to 2012, and some of the teams were the
LA
Lakers and the Detroit Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks.
There's a long list.
Yeah, it's a long list.
Orlando Magic,
you can
Timberwolves. When you were at Orlando Magic, was Curly Neal over there doing skills for what was the skills he used to do? He used to ball handling.
Yes. No, he wasn't there.
Excuse me, this is my interview. My introduction. You had your turn with her. I gave you a shot, didn't I?
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, he did train Shaquille O'Neal when he was at the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, Shaquille was way gone.
I know that. But I know that Curly Neal was doing it then. Because I used to do curly
trying to age me.
I'm joking. I know Curly.
Would you let it go?
I didn't know Curly stayed there.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Curly's got hair like you.
Maybe we should break in our own conversation because I'm not getting anywhere. This is supposed to interview.
We should have sat her over there.
Anyway.
Put me in the corner.
Maurice is a passionate entrepreneur. He's principal in the Evans Group and 8 different companies, a holding company comprised of a portfolio of 9 actually different businesses. And addition to his entrepreneurial prowesses is a passionate believer in Jesus Christ, a speaker, author, and corporate strategist. And we're totally blessed to meet him just a few
a mentor
Saturday
to a lot of people, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And become a dear friend very, very quickly.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
And he goes by Mo.
Most of the time.
But I call him. I'm going to call him Maurice.
You call whatever you want. Okay.
I like that name.
But really been a blessing and a dear friend, and again, such a short period of time. And it's he who introduced us to this event coming up on November 20th.
Right.
At the
Hotel Derrick.
Hotel Derrick. That's right. I'm glad you're here for that. I bet you I remember.
I'll tell you all about
it. We're going to talk about the event, but let's talk about first the reason for the event. You were recruited by Mom. Did I understand that?
Yes, my mom is the founder and president of Truly Fed Ministries, which is kind of a big ministry that has different branches of what we do. And one of those branches being the Vine Uganda, which is a community center that we started, only 2 years ago now, really? In a district called Kamuli. And it's a very underserved part of Uganda, a very rural area for sure. And so this event, Hopeful, it's called Hopeful. It's on November 20th at Hotel Derrick in Houston, and it's our first annual fundraiser dinner to really support the Vine Uganda. We're at a place now where we rescued many different orphans just off the streets. Children living on their own. Wow. And we have a facility that we are the legal guardians to 15 children.
God bless you.
And our facility can only hold so many kids, right? And so we send them to boarding school. That's what you do there. You go to private schools. If you want any kind of decent education, you're going to put your child in a boarding school, but it is expensive. It's more expensive than you would think being in Africa.
Right.
And so we sponsor a bunch of kids to go to school, and on their off holidays, they have like 3-week periods all throughout the year. They live at the Vine because they don't have families, so they have nowhere to go. So there's so many more kids like this that need a home. Well, one of the things we do is we empower women, and we give them a daily wage. We have them purchase fabric, and then we taught them how to sew. So we have these sewing camps.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we will need to ship over more fabric for them so that they can work. And the government tries to take out, they'll get bribes for paying to get the boxes, and it takes like 3 weeks longer. So we've run into all sorts of issues. But what we're doing for the women and what we're trying to do is really to empower them. We don't believe in just going on a mission trip and the white people or whoever coming in and saving the day and giving them some money and then going back to the States and living our own lives.
Well, it goes back to if you give someone a fish, they eat for a day, but you teach them the fish, they eat for
That's exactly
as long as
right.
All the places in all the world, how did you all decide on that community in Uganda? Of all the places that need help, how did you get introduced to Uganda?
That's a very good question. Well,
I thought I'd ask before she does. Go
sure. Well, first of all, Ugandans are among the world's most poorest people. Their daily wage is $1 a day. So it's, there are a lot of ministries in Uganda, but what's funny about our team is that not one of us had, the passion to be missionaries and to go start something over there. That was never the intention. Of course, we have a heart for people and, want to share the hope of Jesus with everyone. But the way the Vine started was my mom was on a trip in servicing teachers through a different organization. Somebody had asked her to join them on a trip out there to Uganda, and she ended up meeting this guy who asked her about her life and if she was a Christian and what her beliefs were, why she was there. And so she ended up sharing her story with him and just praying with him and just really having this great connection with him. And they exchanged information. She came back to the States. Months later, she reconnects with him through email. And from that conversation they had, his whole life changed. And he decided to go into mission work in South Sudan. He was traveling all over the continent. Yes, war-torn South Sudan. And so he said, why don't we do something together? Why don't we partner? I'm seeing so many street kids. I'm seeing so many orphans that need help, and I want to do something about it. And what if we did something together? And so she was like, okay, well, I don't know what we can do, but let's try this. So we started little by little fundraising.
Said, I can recruit my daughter, right?
Yeah. And she's like, I know, bring her along.
My daughter can do everything.
She'll just do it all for me. No. So anyway, we started sending a tiny little bit of money out there. And it is corrupt. So we were very nervous about sending money, and we wanted to see if he was faithful with little and, if he really was trustworthy. And oh my goodness, he's the most amazing man. His name's Vianney. And so that's how the Vine grew. It started as a tiny tithe. We've fundraised. We've rescued kids. It's become this facility. And now we're at the point where this fundraiser dinner, hopeful, we are trying to make a big push so that we can purchase land and build our own school. We don't have to send kids to a different boarding school. The orphans that don't have anywhere to go during holidays can live there. There'll be a children's home, a church, a community center where women and men can work, a farm, hopefully. They can harvest the land. They can be self-sustaining. We just have big, big dreams for the Vine, and it's really exciting.
That's awesome.
It is. This is really exciting to see that.
How long have you been involved with this project? Since its inception?
Yes, pretty much. My mom starts things and I just I somehow get roped into it. But I started with working for Truly Fed Ministries about just a little over a year ago, and just kind of travel with my mom. I've been to Africa 3 times now. Twice working with the Vine and being in Uganda.
How long of a flight is it from Houston to?
24 hours. Somewhere around there, 24 hours. It takes a good 2 days to get there. Jeez. But what was so awesome was last time, and this is such a miracle of God, our entire team randomly got upgraded to business class.
How nice.
Isn't that nuts?
Wasn't that thoughtful?
Yeah. We were like, oh man, you got upgraded. And then pretty soon we all were.
What airline was that?
It is a huge difference from the regular.
What airline was that?
That was Emirates.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How nice of them. Mm-hmm. Did they know about what y'all were doing?
No, they didn't know any of us. They didn't know we were together.
How nice.
All of our tickets were purchased separately.
God's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your hamster, Barbara? Where's your hamster?
Yeah, exactly. I wear. The hand of God is that's what I'm always wearing. It is symbolic. Hamsa is the Middle East. That's what it's symbolic. So.
Wow. Yeah.
The hand of God is always in it.
Sure.
When Maurice bought our package, that was hands of God.
Amen.
And we started sharing our stories and our passions and our focus. That had to be hands of God. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I called Greg Johnson. I said, thank you. First God, then you. You were introduced for making sure that Maurice was at that event for him to purchase that package, because it's been great ever since. And there we got to meet Roman, and now you. So
yeah.
And soon your mother. And
yes.
Tell us about what amazing woman Gari is.
Oh, she's awesome. I can't believe she's my mom sometimes.
Like
yeah.
Barbara, there's nothing she can't do, just ask her. You know?
Right.
Don't tell it's impossible since she's done it already, right?
Exactly. Right? She is a visionary. I mean, if you know my mom, she has these visions, and then I'm kind of more of a administrator type, so I come in and say, okay, can we do this? I don't know. Let's crunch the numbers. Let's figure this out. But she's
always
amazing.
Been like that?
Yes.
Forever.
Always. Yes.
Since birth.
Yes.
Since your birth, right?
Did she love dancing? How did you develop your love for dancing?
She did. I've been dancing since I was 3. And, my mom was always a cheerleader and a dancer growing up. But my aunt was actually the real dancer in the family. She was a professional dancer. So I just always had that passion. And it's funny because when I was a little girl, I did this school project and I said, what did you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a backup dancer. And I did. I became that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I sat on a stage where the singers were supposed to be sitting, just boldly got on a stage. Nobody asked what I was doing there.
Just start singing.
I just started sitting on the stage. It was the middle of a
you did.
concert.
You're like, the view's better up here.
There's a show that kind of overshadowed American Bandstand here in Houston.
Called the Larry Kane.
Larry Kane Show. And Barbara was one of the featured dancers on that TV show.
Wow.
Yeah, you supposedly had to take classes at a variety of locations to get, which when they realized that I knew as much as the dance instructor, I never took classes. I would actually ended up being a junior instructor. So whenever they'd show us a new dance that was going to be used for one of the songs, I would work it with the instructor. Then I would break off. I'd show the boys, and he would show the girls.
Oh, wow.
And my parents were national ballroom champions, the best all around in Texas. So from the time I could walk, I could dance. The first thing I learned to dance was a cha-cha. I think it was
dancing at the event
with the walker. I mean, I love music.
With the walker.
Oh, me
yeah.
too.
And
I love it.
I still
if you put on salsa, that walker goes.
We don't need that.
Any Latin music, it's like, okay, baby,
the
let's
hips
go.
are moving.
Let's go.
Hips don't lie.
We'll talk about why I had to take dance lessons during the break. And then we'll come back with Maurice and how he got involved and what his role is. And we'll talk more about the event and the charity also.
Well, it makes sense that an athlete, to be a good athlete, you have to work as a team.
That's right.
So that's what he is. He's a good team player in helping.
Absolutely.
Make this
You brought us on board.
exactly.
There you go.
It's all about
the relationship.
Team player. So how the support.
We've got to go to
Can't
break.
do it all yourself.
But we'll be right back after these messages, and you're listening to Small Business Day Magazine Talk Show
on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
At Affordable Searches, our mission is to provide our customers with the most thorough background check possible to protect you, your employees, and also your business. We do so by contracting with companies across the country that provide us with the best information possible and in a quick turnaround time. Our turnaround times average anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. Our pricing is very competitive, and we are always here for you. We're always here to answer any questions you have. Please give us a call at 1-877-685-6691, and we'll be glad to answer each and every question that you have.
And welcome back to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show
on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
Time we give a shout out to our engineer, George Davis.
Engineer extraordinaire.
Engineer extraordinaire, working the keyboard. And
so now you should go do.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ron Coleman, MovieWhip.com. All our YouTube videos are courtesy of Ron Coleman. More than just a videographer.
He does film. He does SEO, search engine optimization, commercials, the
Very
whole 9
talented.
yards.
And we've had him on board almost since the inception of our show, haven't we?
That's just, well, yeah,
before that.
about 6 months in, exactly.
And so there you go. And that's why we have a automatic audio link. If you didn't hear the whole show or you missed the show at all, we'll have the automatic link on Small Business Today Magazine Facebook page. They're eventually going to be loaded on the new website. And also Premier Agent Magazine Facebook page and my own Facebook page, and I'll share it with Barbara, and then we share it with our guests.
And you can also find it on moviewhip.com.
Absolutely. And then the video we usually get within 24 to 48 hours. Isn't that right, Ron? Yes. And we put the YouTube video up there on all the social media, which is how every show is promoted, on LinkedIn, Twitter, and all the Facebook pages. So if you didn't see the link on this show, it's because I had so much copy on so many bios that they just wouldn't take it. Social media is supposed to be like short stuff, not like 3 days later, here's the rest of the story. So, but anyway, we are back with both Allie Evans and Maurice Evans. And such talented people, Barbara.
Exactly. Exactly.
And focus on a very special event coming up, which benefits even more special not-for-profit, and we're talking about Hopeful. The event is November 20th, right?
And that's HOPE, then capital FULL.
No. Yes, Hopeful, but full with two L's.
2 words.
Yeah, hope.full.
Hope.full.
There you go.
And then how can someone find out about the event?
Very easy. You just go to www.hopefulevent.com. Full with 2 L's.
That's how you spell powerful.
Well, I do, but I trademarked that. I own that.
Okay, well, she's got Hopeful.
Okay, well, yeah, we have a Hopeful.
One word with 2 L's and trademarked. Yeah, I own that.
He did that because he misspells and he finally trademarked it.
Right.
So
I can say a lot about ALLOT.
Yeah, he also spells ALLOT instead of then A.
That's the way we do it in New York.
Yeah,
a lot,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you say a lot?
And lower...
like rat of here, like we're leaving. Rat of here.
Yeah,
one word.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot.
How about hey, Sedonda?
Yeah, back to you.
What is that?
Anyway,
Hey, sit down, dear.
Ignore her, Allie. We're back on
I
the air.
never
Okay.
caught that.
That's a damn Yankee thing.
So
I was born in Houston,
the event
where I know.
Hopeful, right, which is part of benefiting the Vine, which benefits women and children in Uganda, and the community's name again?
The Vine Uganda.
And where in Uganda is it again?
It's in Kamuli.
Kamuli.
It's a small district of Kamuli.
Okay. Doing some amazing things there with both shelter and building a farm and giving women opportunities to earn money and take cloth. Certainly, to be my parents' business was in there because that's all they sold was cloth.
Yeah, because I know that they tax their duties they charge are ridiculous on things that come in. But are you planning to at one point the wares they make and have a store that people can buy them?
Yes. Well, we what we're trying to do is really get most of our fabric from Kamuli or from Kampala, which is the capital city, there, so that we don't have to be sending anything.
Right.
You know, they can send us the aprons. But we are about to go there twice a year, so we can take and bring back things. But one of the things we have them make is these mommy and me aprons.
Oh.
So they will bring it back to us. We sell them in the States. They make headbands and all sorts of things that they'll sell there as well. But it's a great way for them to earn a daily wage. They're being trained in sewing skills. I mean, that's going to go so far for them, and they get to earn a living.
Nice.
Now, I know that. I would think that country would be an LDDC, lesser developed country. Therefore, they get favorable importation duty status here in the U.S. Are you aware of that? Or you check that out?
I am not aware of that.
But you should, because you eventually may have to deal with U.S. Customs, and things that are handmade generally are not taxed to the things that are commercially made.
Right.
Everything has to be labeled with country of origin, and but there's quotas on cotton. So, but certain countries will get favorable status if they're a lower developed country, which I think Uganda is.
I'm sure it is.
If you need any recommendations, I know places.
You need to come to Uganda with us.
And help you just on the importation.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick the place first, because it's a little tough.
But helping with the importation and having that customs clearance, it's good to know about what the regulations are before you start bringing stuff in.
Absolutely.
And now back to Maurice. Now, who's going to be in the playoffs this year? You think? No. Now, Maurice, I probably know the answer, but how did you get attracted to this cause?
Well, I was really, obviously they had me at hello. I was really impressed with, with the beneficiaries, which obviously the kids, and it being, I love the name Hopeful, just as an annual event. It's right in alignment with my book, Every Level of Success, all about sustainability. And I love that's what they're doing, as Allie's explaining about the aprons. Even one of our strategic partners is agreed to donate 12,500 pairs of shoes, which a lot of the individuals can go to, again, hopefulevent.com and find out how to sponsor these kids and pay for shoes. And it's just all about, again, teaching them how to fish so that they can sustain their community. And I just thought it was, again, a great event.
I mean, considering that so many people use, I think you had said about 80% of families are led by the children. The head of household are children. Where are the parents? Are they dead?
Most of the time, the parents have died. Yeah. And a lot of the time it's due to very preventable diseases. I mean, you will see people sick left and right with illnesses that can be treated by, a couple pills or whatever kind of medicine, but they don't have access to a lot of that.
So there's no access to health care there.
Yeah, not good health care. And then not only that, but there's a lot of waterborne illness. So that's another thing. We're really going to try to build water wells in our community so that they can have access to clean water, which is a necessity we forget that we're just grateful to have.
A friend of mine created and had the patent on it, where it was something that it looked like a thermos, but the inside part, if you poured water into
filter in it,
it had a special thing that killed all the bacteria and stuff like that. And the problem with people in lower developing countries, they would just throw away that part and use it as a cup. So educating people like that. But I could introduce
and
you
also
to
hygiene. Yeah,
I mean, teaching hygiene is something important that people have to be taught. Once, I mean, I'm of course thinking this is going to be so successful that there's going to be the example. Do you plan to take this from city to city and or village to village, I would say?
Oh, yeah. Right now we're serving 4 different villages. So people from all over are kind of coming to the Vine for help. And so we are looking at a very specific plot of land that's kind of central. But, we would love to go to different villages and support different areas. There's such a great need. Why not?
Wouldn't it be great to have a core group of people that you rise up and teach them how to do it and make it self-sufficient?
It's kind of like when Marvin Zindler had his angels with Dr. Urbach and was it
Joe Agris,
Joe
Dr.
Agris. These doctors would bring all of the tools of their trade and then teach others
the
there.
surgeons, the doctors there.
And leave the tools behind.
And leave the tools behind
That's great.
at their own cost.
So if you can empower those people to empower other people in other villages and keep perpetuating this support, so it's not all you with one community, and you keep going. But that's just a matter of time. But meanwhile, for 2 years,
But Dr.,
2 years to do this, Barbara, it's
amazing.
already, and be congratulated.
We can introduce you to Dr. Agris because that's what he does. Still, even though Marvin Zindler's passed away, Dr. Agris, they call him Dr. Angel and stuff because he does.
I know him real well. I should put it on.
He should have brown eyes by now because he is so full of.
Anyway, but more. But again, the event is November the 20th. And it starts. It is a cocktail.
Oh yeah, it's going to be
reception
so fun.
And networking and a silent auction.
But you're not allowed to go.
O'clock.
They said
6 o'clock silent auction.
6 o'clock silent auction.
You can come to
and
that.
Dinner and entertainment. And let's talk about some of the entertainment and people
the
involved.
speakers are amazing, Steve.
Okay.
So first of all, we have Jeremy Foster. He's actually my pastor of Hope City in Houston. Hilarious. They call him the cowboy preacher because he is just. I mean, he's just funny. You got to Google this guy and just watch his videos. And then we have my mom, Gari Meacham, who she's going to be just talking about the hope in Uganda. You know, the whole theme is hope, hopeful. Right. So what is hope? What does hope for Uganda look like? And how can we all help? That's going to be kind of what she talks about. And then we have Clayton Jennings, who is incredible. He's this international evangelist. I mean, he is so popular. I tried to link one of his, I think I tried to tag him on Facebook to post about the event, and it wouldn't even let me because he had so many followers.
I always wanted to be evangelist.
Really?
Yeah, I would be the first Jewish evangelist.
I'll be the first one to put you under a tent. Sure. That's
I was going to put you in the water and see how long I could hold you there.
Yeah,
just ignore it. Anyway, but so
it's my son.
Again, this is at the Hotel Derrick. Begins at 6 o'clock on November the 20th. A full night, a lot of great networking, great cause, great dinner, entertainment, speakers.
Silent auction?
Yes.
Is we silent auction?
Yeah.
We have a
red carpet even.
Again, $3,500 package, which usually is $2,300, but since we already had Maurice bid on a $3,500, less than that, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
So, Maurice offered to buy one and give it out. No. You already did that. So moving on.
And what other, is there some other ones that you're excited about that you know of right now that are silent auction items?
Oh yeah, there's some great artwork, some amazing artists from Houston. I think there was some Disneyland tickets. I know a lot of sports memorabilia, Perry's Steakhouse gift
package to Cabo.
Oh yeah, golf package.
That's wonderful. People want to go fishing. Cabo is a great place for fishing people. So
Tiger Woods just built a new golf course out there, and they donated a 7-day package, and I'm sure someone would love to.
So that would be great for the sportsman that likes to golf and fish, because Cabo is known for their
and
great...
a woman to just go and
just go
sit
chillax in the spa. They have great spas there too.
How many guests?
About 350 to 400.
Right.
So it's
we'll
going to be
continue
great.
to promote and put it on our social media.
Awesome.
And we're going to have your mom on the show, right? And you got
If you got a big poster, I can make him stand out in the street with it like a signboard.
Oh yeah, you
a
can
sandwich
twist
board.
the sign.
You're not supposed to be. Stop it. Anyway, but we're proud to be helping the media of this terrific event, especially who it's benefiting and why.
Yeah.
And
Thank
hope to
you.
be able to see more of what the village looks like. Maybe we'll have a slideshow or something. And
I mean, I could see this same concept that you've come up with, and every impoverished area to duplicate it, to become self-sufficient.
And we can all do something. What's so exciting about this is that it's really at the ground level right now. You know, you look at these different organizations and you're like, oh, they've already got it figured out. And really, none of us do. We're all starting somewhere, and we're at the bottom, and every person has the ability to make a huge difference with this, whether they come to the event, which would be awesome. Get your tickets at hopefulevent.com, or you can go to our website for the Vine, thevineuganda.org, and fundraise, tweet, post, spread the word.
If you're a fan of Small Business Today magazine or this talk show or Maurice or Allie, go to the website. at least offer to donate a silent auction item.
Or
Whatever.
buy a ticket to the event.
Buy a ticket, come to the
Yeah,
event.
come.
There'll be a lot of great people. Most friends are going to be there, I hope.
Yeah.
We got a lot of
It's a lot of
strategic
athletes.
partners
Is
coming,
Robert Horry?
athletes, etc.
And
Robert,
we didn't mention
they're-
Robert Horry.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God.
forgot about
I
him.
did. Just now.
and the whole-
I did. I thought I did.
Tell us
Yeah.
about the athletes.
Well, the
Who's gonna
Vine
be there?
Uganda is going to honor Robert Horry. Most people who know him in the community, obviously, he's a 7-time NBA champion, a soon-to-be Hall of Famer. But unfortunately, he did lose his daughter to illness,
Rare disease,
and
yeah.
so it was a rare disease. Used to live in the same community as I lived in, and he's also a partner in this Robert Horry Sports Medicine designed specifically to help again just individuals who are suffering from these different challenges. But we're just thankful for the opportunity, and I want to really just take the time to thank Steve and Barbara and Small
Yes.
Business Today just for allowing us to be here to promote the event, and just for their hearts to
Yes.
serve, and allowing all influencers to have this platform to go out and speak to their audiences. So thank you for that.
That started out. We started talking about him coming on the show, and then he's talking about this event. Well, we'll do a different show just for that event, and you can come on later.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
So that's where it started. We
Yeah.
only known each other a few days, but
Yeah.
once we heard about what you were doing and where it was going, I said,
This is part of
this is part of
who
us.
we are, and
Yeah.
it was part of. It
we
was,
can tell that. Yeah,
we have
so
to do
genuine.
this. We can't just like the other people that are successful, and whether we don't do it because we're looking to get something out of it. It's because it's the right
Right,
thing. We have to
right.
help each other. People ask, about the old thing. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, we are. We are keepers of the world, and if we don't care for each other, there's no world.
Right.
It's each of
And
our
when you have the
responsible-
power to help somebody,
Yeah.
why withhold
not?
that?
So that's where we use our social media and our media platform here and the magazine to promote the events and promote the causes and make things happen. That's just
And eat
'cause it's the right
donuts.
thing to do.
Yes, she spoiled us
off
with
my
donuts
donuts,
right when we
anyway.
walked in.
How much time we got, Jerome? Okay. Well, again, and then we got to come back. We got to thank our sponsors after that,
Right,
right? And
right.
one more time, we'll talk about the website and how to donate, how to get involved, how to buy tickets, etc. And you're listening to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
CRM sucks. Everyone told you that you needed one for years, and you fought them off. But you finally relented. Guess what? Your instincts were right. After all, it's cost way more money and time than you ever expected, right? And now, you have to fight with your team to get them to use the system. It's been this way for 20 years. It's not just you. 50% of CRM implementations fail to meet expectations. And it's not getting any better. Sure, you need to manage customers and you need to manage those relationships, but what you really need is a business operating platform. You need to be able to create systems and processes and automate those systems and processes. Automation is the key. What you do is unique. The way you work with your customers is what makes you special to them. Don't change who you are. Make the technology fit what's unique and special about you. There's another important piece. Your customers expect to do business with you in so many different ways now. You've got to be able to give them exactly what they want, when they want it, instantly and automatically. Your CRM sucks because you've always needed more. First, identify the buying process that your customer goes through when they make a decision to purchase what you sell. And then marry your sales process to that buying process. Then, build the technology to fit those processes. And then finally, require your team to follow the processes and use the technology. All you've got to do is answer two basic questions. Where do your leads come from? And what do you do with them when you get them? Just make it easy for your team to do what you do and be who you are. One often overlooked opportunity is lead nurturing, just staying in touch with everyone. After all, you probably only close maybe a third of the leads that come in. But what if you just stay in touch with the 2/3 that you don't close? This is usually a no-brainer from a return on your investment point of view. Map out the unique way that you work with your customers and make the technology make that easier and faster.
And welcome back to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show on the
SBT Magazine Radio Network.
The problem with having great people on with a great topic is
you're on.
So bad.
If you want,
do you have to be here? Because I could do this show without you. I've done that before.
we don't need you. Go home.
And just ignore it. Anyway, we are back with our new friends, Maurice Evans and Allie Evans, and they're here representing the Hopeful event happening November 20th, which is a Friday, at the Hotel Derrick, 6 p.m. to whatever. Great networking for a great cause, great dinner, entertainment. You definitely want to be there. You want to go to Hopeful
event.com
and get a ticket or several tickets, buy a table.
Yeah.
Donate a silent auction item. Do something. We're involved in every way. Thanks to
make a difference. It just starts with one person
That's
to
right.
make a difference.
Do it, because there's you think of the tough areas in the United States where kids aren't fed right and cared for, but Uganda's just so bad. And I love what they're doing and the cause they're doing it for. A couple of shout outs before we go, Barbara. Just
gotta take this.
Yeah, go right ahead. See?
She's out.
Finally, she's leaving.
Did you call her and then try to get her out?
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, we wanted to give a shout out to Tony Noun with AutoShopper.biz, one of our sponsors, and Craig Klein with SalesNexus.com, who provides us the area for our show, and also for Paul Marcus with Affordable Searches. You're back already?
I'm back already.
Jeez.
I'm back already.
We didn't have much time to talk about it.
I know. Wow.
So, anyway, but we are so thrilled to be part of this event coming up, hopeful to benefit the vines in Uganda, women and children, and all the great work they're doing. Literally, it's doing God's work. When you help others in need, God is using His hands and your hand.
That's why we're all here.
To the point,
hands and feet.
to the point that you say that, I mean, I just want to definitely make sure to just give a little bit of shed a little light on Gari Meacham, and just the fact that she's also an author. She took over for Beth Moore at First Baptist Church. She's teaching a Bible series there. I mean, a really gifted speaker, encouragement, inspiration. You get a solid word as well, and also her husband Bobby Meacham, who's been affecting lives in the sports space for over 30 years as a player and as a coach. He was first base coach for the Astros back in 2009 to 2011. And so they, I commend their family for the courage that it takes to go out and start a ministry, and also put, your own skin in the game, your own time, the commitment, and and being an athlete, being fortunate myself to, if no one helped me, I would have still been a kid in the underserved community and not had the chance to get educated and be able to have the opportunity to play professional sports and be impactful as God's allowed me to be. So I just want to shed light on that. So she's got, how many books does Gari have out now? 4 or 5?
4 or 5, yeah.
So, Truly Fed, Watershed Moments, Spirit Hunger, go read up on her, because you will be inspired by just the message that she has, and that will kind of serve to help you understand what it is that this group is accomplishing, and shed some light on the Hopeful event.
Such beautiful people, Barry. 6'5", all heart. A beautiful woman with even more beautiful heart.
My mother always says, pretty as pretty does.
Absolutely.
So she's beautiful.
Aww,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to being at this event, and there's something else that Small Business Today Magazine can do for this or future events. All you have to do is ask.
Aww,
And
thank you guys
and of
so
course,
much.
We're going to have your mother back
So gracious.
coming up.
On November
Yes,
9th,
November
we'll have
9th.
that. And we might do, since I'll be recuperating from
Eye surgery.
eye surgery next week, with the exception of the HMSDC Expo.
They give you mouth surgery too.
Why don't you just be quiet? Shut yours up. And but we may do an encore broadcast maybe Friday and then have them back on live on that following Monday, November 9th. So if you're listening to this now via audio or video, just know we have another encore broadcast coming and an encore appearance coming up on November 9th. We'll have Gary herself here along with Maurice and Allie. So
we're excited. Any other people you want to bring? Welcome to bring them.
Yeah, if you want to bring the pastors,
the kids.
Yeah, bring the kids.
Roman's been here before. He can handle it.
Yeah.
No, he can.
Knocking down your artwork.
He'll play with his Legos. He was playing with his Legos.
He was just excited. So again, the website, because we can't do this enough times, is www.hopefulevent.com. Write it down. Did you write it down? Let's do it again. HopefulEvent.com will take you there. Donate a silent auction item. Buy some tickets. Offer to be a sponsor.
Or a table.
All the help.
Or a table.
There's still some
All
left.
the help you can be is God's help. Is God's hand. Just remember that.
And that's hopeful is HOPEFULL.
That's right. All you can do
Hopeful
to help.
event.
Sounds like you want a few spelling bees in your day.
That's right. Final words.
Oh man, just thank you guys for your support, and it's our honor really to do the work that we do. So we are by no means special and trying to do anything without really feeling God's leading to do it, and it's an honor. You know, when you give, it's really a gift to yourself. You know, the biggest blessing is being able to give, and we don't take that lightly. We love the people of Uganda.
It's an act of kindness.
Yeah.
People say paying it forward, but it goes back to one of the 613 commandments that we were given. Everybody knows about the 10. We had an extra 603.
Sure.
So, but that one, it was the most important one, is to give without recognition, to give because it's the right thing to do.
And give with a cheerful heart.
Exactly,
you know?
because it's the right thing to do. Not looking to get anything back out of it.
And these people are so precious. I mean, they are like family. And I mean, we live and die with this ministry, and they say that too. And they're just the precious, precious people that you would all love.
We were going to go to Disney World, but I think we need to go to Uganda.
Yes.
Barbara, what do you think? Huh? Go on one of those.
You don't need Disney
trips.
World.
Once I have hip surgery,
a little bit longer
I'll go
trip
wherever.
to Uganda.
If not, that stroller
We
has
can
to go
start
everywhere.
ziplining.
Right.
We'll start some ziplining
yeah.
loops over there where you take
You can
some
river
tourists.
raft the Nile.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Been a fantastic show, and we so appreciate Maurice Evans and the blessing that is our friendship now.
And
the
Allie
new
Evans.
friendship with
Thank
Allie
you.
Evans,
You too.
and
Thanks for having
being
us.
part of this terrific event coming up on November 20th. Again, hopefulevent.com will take you there. Make sure you go. And next week, you'll see all encore broadcasts that recuperate from that surgery. And we'll start with a live show. The first live show, we'll be back with these nice people and Gary.
Yes.
So you've been listening to Small Business Magazine Talk Show
on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.